Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brookdale Newsmakers. My name is Mike Murray. I'm your host today, and we are in the studio with Ian Mullhearne, who is a broadcast student here at Brookdale Community College. Welcome, Ian.
Hello.
Ian, it's so good to have you. You do basketball broadcasting?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that for?
I've been doing basketball for about 5 to 6 months.
Okay. You were a freshman at Brookdale?
Entering my sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I said you're a broadcasting student, but what is your actual major? Do you have a declared major?
I actually do. I am in media studies.
Media studies. Okay, great. And you primarily do basketball, or do you do other sports? Do you hope to do other sports?
I actually hope to do other sports. Baseball would be a really cool one because it's the slowest.
Right.
And
okay.
when you're doing these basketball games, you get very fast pace, and sometimes when a person turns it over, then gives it back to the other team, it's like it's crazy.
Is it tough to adjust, or?
Yeah, adjust. You got to have really good breath control. During these broadcasts.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you now? What I was thinking before this interview, we were talking before, it's some information here, but I didn't ask you this, is do you prefer color or the play-by-play?
I really like being a color analyst. I do practice play-by-play, but I like color analysts better, I would say.
Yeah.
Because they have the really fun part in just like getting the reactions with the fans.
Right.
So they can really feel that moment. Mm-hmm. So they can get a visual. Well, the play-by-play gives you the visual. The color analyst mainly gives you the reaction.
Right.
So you feel the atmosphere during the game.
Right.
Like they're actually there. That's the purpose of it.
Now, it's funny you said it because I've recently just started putting the volume down as I've been watching the hockey playoffs. I've been just turning the volume off because I just can't. I just get exhausted by the guys calling the game. But I do wonder, do you think that the color analyst, this question I want to ask broadcasters, do you think the color analyst has an obligation to be objective? Because I noticed a lot during the season that people were complaining about ref calls that were called against Brookdale.
Yes.
But I feel like it's more important to just kind of call it as it is, right?
Yes, there have been some questionable calls. Actually, one of the more funny ones was, I can't remember the game necessarily, but I remember during this game, I think it was Atlantic Cape, and me and Brian were in the booth, and we were wondering, what's going on here? Because it seemed like they called something, and the game just stopped out of nowhere. They're like, did they call a timeout?
Right.
Apparently it was a technical foul.
Oh, okay.
So we were like...
Oh, was it the Fred Cabrera technical foul? Was that when the hoopla at the end of the game? Different one?
No, different one.
Okay.
It was on an Atlantic Cape player.
Right.
But that game in particular was the most memorable because Dom, my good buddy, Dom Sama, was told me at the last minute that he was going to Florida. So I had to get ready, prep for the game in 10 minutes. So I had 10 minutes to get a good majority, my voice ready, all that.
Right.
And actually was my best commentary that I ever did.
Really? Okay, interesting. So the compressed time frame, you're able to pull it off.
Exactly.
Where do you hope to do this professionally someday? Is that the goal?
Yes, that is my goal. I actually, when I was young, after my great aunt died, I was sad for a little bit, but then I remembered I like sports, so I just watched SportsCenter with my favorite guy, Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. is my personal favorite.
Really? Okay.
Because even though he blurts stuff out, he's not afraid to back it up with facts later on, because he is just so good. And his famous saying, "Stay off the weed." It's very funny.
Right. Yeah, he is a bombastic character, Stephen A. Smith.
he could host anything. I mean, this guy's hosted Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, that made me laugh so hard. If you guys haven't watched that, you should, because it is very funny.
Okay, well, we'll have to take a look at that. So next year, you're looking forward to the season, the Brookdale season.
Oh, big time.
Hope you'll be in the Robert Collins Arena.
Big time. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how these sophomores perform and some of these new freshmen that come in. Sometimes they come from CBA, sometimes they come from all across the region. So it's amazing. You never know who's going to break out.
Good. Well, I mean, I'm excited. I hope that I'll be part of it as well. Obviously, you'll be there. And I think, thank you for joining us today, Ian. This has been an interesting conversation. Thank you for joining us, viewer. This is Brookdale Newsmakers. I'm Mike Murray, and hope to see you soon.